This year, no, I'm not putting this on Jerry Jones. And I understand he's my buddy.
I was going to say, he just gave you a birthday shout-out and everything.
So there is a soft spot that I got from my buddy, and my buddy Jerry Jones.
Absolutely.
Okay, and no doubt about it. But in all seriousness, I'm not putting this on him. And here's the reason why. We walked into this season raving about Dallas's roster. We talked about Dak, we talked about Amari, we talked about Gallup, we talked about Ezekiel Elliott. We saw that he paid Ezekiel Elliott. We saw that he paid La'el Collins. We saw that he paid Jalen Smith, etc. You look at this team from top. Their defense came in with a stout reputation, finishing in the top 6 last year. From a personnel perspective, Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones have done their jobs. Now, obviously, you can look at it and say, well, you know, Jason Garrett is the one that he employs. But my point is, Jason Garrett, the biggest reason why I hold him accountable is because Jerry Jones said, okay, I'm not going to extend you. As much as I love you and as much as I want you to be this coach and as much as I will praise you, I'm not giving you a contract extension. I can no longer hold all of these dudes accountable and then let you get a pass. So coming into, in the offseason, this dude had an opportunity to give Jason Garrett an extension and said, no, you have something to prove. It's on you. Yet here we are, you're 3-3. You've been mediocre over the last 3 weeks. The development of Dak Prescott went from this to this. Okay, we're looking at that. Absence of a running game, something wrong with that. Kellen Moore choosing to make plays, you okay in it, something wrong with that. I'm going to look at Jason Garrett and this only for this year. I'm not talking about the perpetual piece of mediocrity that the Dallas Cowboys have been since 1995. I'm talking about this year. I'm going to put this one on Jason Garrett.
This is on Jerry Jones. He didn't send me a birthday video. I'll say whatever I want.
Wait a minute, Max. It might come, Max. It might come.
And even if he, look.
His birthday was in August.
Look, let's start with what Jerry Jones is doing with Garrett and with Dak, okay? He's isolated those two variables. He's taking care of everything else. Here's a defense. Everywhere you look, there's a star. By the way, all 3 levels of the defense, really. Here's an offense. Everywhere you look, there's a star. On the front line, like on the offensive line, the backfield, wherever you want to look. Lead wide out, your slot receiver, wherever you want to look. Is it the coach or the quarterback? Why aren't we doing better? We're going to find out right now. And by the way, my prediction is he'll choose the quarterback and the coach will be gone. Now it's up to you, Dak, right? Maybe franchise Dak is the way it looks like it's heading that way to me, maybe. Then we'll find out. But now let's do the same experiment with Jerry Jones. Let's isolate the variables, guys. How long has it been since they won a title, Stephen A?
1995.
We're talking about only almost a quarter century.
1 year away.
That is a long time.
Since they won a title.
You
now,
know the anniversary?
That's right.
My goodness.
You got it set.
25th anniversary.
What's 25? Silver?
It'll be 25. It'll be 25.
What are you going to do? Go on Jerry's party bus for that to celebrate?
Well, listen, I mean, I got to talk to Jerry and Stephen about that. You understand?
To see how you guys will go about the party.
You know what?
Celebrate your 25th
Actually, I'm
anniversary.
not going to ask Stephen A. Smith about that. I'm going to ask Texas Steve.
That's right.
Yeah,
All right,
Texas
so
Steve, when he's got the hat.
Texas Live, Steve.
And with the hat.
So let's
and
talk about what's happened over that quarter century. Why has it been that long? One variable we isolate, Jerry Jones. My theory is his ego can't take it when the coach gets the credit. When that coach has a big ego, and a lot of great coaches need that, he ran Jimmy Johnson out of town.
Yeah.
Barry Switzer won one with Jimmy Johnson's team, and that was the end of that dynasty. He talked Bill Parcells out of retirement. But eventually, that's not going to last. By the way, Parcells is the one who found him Tony Romo. Lincoln Riley is a guy, right? Like, there are some star, blue-chip, big-name coaches out there above the what's it called, the billboard. It's not even what it's called, the marquee. Above the marquee, right? Like, they come before the title of the movie.
Right.
He's not going to – is he going to go get one of those, or is he going to be content with Jason Garrett? Because if Jerry Jones can put his ego aside for a minute, this team could win the Super Bowl.
This whole relationship is the issue. It's both of them. And it's not even for the reasons I think that you guys have pointed out. In another interview done at the owners' meetings, you know what he said? We've put a lot into the evolution of Jason Garrett. He was a player here. His dad worked for us. There's been a lot that's gone into him getting to this point. And then they ask him the most important question of all. if you've been a part of the evolution, if you've been a part of him growing to where he is he a Super Bowl coach? And you know what he said? I don't know. And if you're Jerry Jones, and if you are truly focused on winning a Super Bowl, you know what you want? A coach that can win one. You want a coach that when they ask you, is this guy a Super Bowl coach? It doesn't matter if you have a Super Bowl roster. Can this dude win the Super Bowl? You better be able to say yeah. And if I've been around you for 20 years, I for sure know that you can win one or you can't. And so if you can't answer that question, it's about that relationship. It's about the fact that you care that his dad worked for you. That don't matter. Right? When you're evaluating him and when you're trying to figure out has he done the job, that's not important. Go ahead.
You're not wrong. But here's where I think both of y'all are missing. Like when you talk about his ego, I think that was in the past. I don't think that's the case now. I think that when you're 76, 77 years old, you know what I'm saying, and you looking at your own literal mortality.
Yeah. I agree. That might change things.
I think your ego goes out the window. It's not about that.
That might change things.
It's not about that anymore. I don't think it's about that anymore.
And though,
but
there's also no coach you get right now.
But let me say this. But let me also say this. I also think where I would challenge you is that at this point in time in Jerry's life, when you talk about one thing that doesn't change, particularly with a lot of Southerners, and I'm not saying it's different for anybody else from the North or the West or whatever, but they preach about that loyalty, that relationship. The fact that you have such a relationship with Jason Garrett is why this dude has held on to him for dear life. It was why he was willing to hold on to Tony Romo for dear life. It's why he didn't mind letting go of Bill Parcells. It's why he didn't mind letting go of Jerry Jones. These are Super Bowl champions. Jimmy Johnson, I'm sorry, Jimmy Johnson. It's a, you know, you look at Bill Parcells, that's somewhere else, all right? But Jimmy Johnson delivered 2 titles for you. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.